Hello everybody, this is Roel, and for the continuation of the topic ferrous and non-ferrous metal, I will discuss the factors determining the price of metals. So there are three principal factors to control the price of metals. Number one, the degree of concentration of mineral deposits, which means the price of metal depends upon the manner in which the ore occur in nature, that is upon the type of mineral in which the metal is found and its geological distribution on earth crust. So very best example of this are gold and silver. Gold, its geological distribution on earth crust is rare compared to silver, which is abundance. So gold is more expensive than silver because of its geological distribution on earth crust. Second is the cost per ton of ore handled, of reducing or otherwise recovering the metal. The second factor depends upon the economical efficiency of the process employed to recover the metal from the ore. So the second process is more likely depends on the several processes involved to commercialize or to produce metal from the ore. Third is somehow not the scope of this subject, but I will have a brief description of this, which is the law of supply and demand, which is in the field of economics, which is influenced largely by need and which seems to defy human control. To proceed, we have the process of forming pure metals. There are various treatments of ores to produce commercially pure metals. Requires several operations, namely mining, concentration, purification, reduction, and refining. Number one is the ore dressing. The first stage in extracting of a metal from an ore, in which as much as gangue as possible is removed and the ore is prepared for smelting, refining. So ore dressing is simply the first stage of producing or forming pure metals. It is the removing of gangue, which is the high, or rather the low value mineral is removed from the ore, which is the high value mineral, and ready for the process of smelting and refining. In addition, it is also called the process of mineral dressing and mineral processing. So the second process is the purification, which is usually involves some change in chemical character. This may be a side change, or in some instance may be marked. So purification involves temperature, in which a certain of purification of the ore can be secured by drying, whereby some of the water component of crystallization is removed by heating. Certain ore may be calcite, in which the character of the ore is changed without oxidation. So a very best example of purification is the process of oxidation, in which sulfides, under the process of oxidation, it will turn into oxides. But there are instances, or a certain ore may be calcined, in which it does not undergo the process of oxidation. So under purification, we have roasting is another method of purification, involve a process of oxidation in which sulfides are converted into oxides. So this is what I've said while ago, in which it undergo the process of oxidation, which sulfides are converted into oxides. So sintering may be employed for not only the agglomeration of particles, but also the purpose of changing the chemical nature of the ore. So sintering is, it depends upon the purpose of changing the chemical nature of the ore. and it is accomplished by the presence of heating to a proper temperature. So smelting may be employed a purification process to assist in separating of the gangue from the ore. In general, smelting involves melting of the ore. So smelting is the separation of the low value mineral, which is the gangue, from the high value mineral deposit, and smelting involves the melting of the ore. So next is distillation. Frequently may be employed on a certain ore as method of purification prior to the process of reduction. So distillation is the process of purification prior to the process of reduction. In some instances, a valuable mineral may be separated from the gangue by leaching process, in which the valuable mineral is dissolved away from the gangue. If leaching process is accomplished at a high temperature, this is referred to as distillation. The next process is the reduction of the ore. The process of reducing the suitably prepared ore is principally a chemical one in which the important mineral is decomposed. So reduction of the ore is the process of reducing suitable prepared ore, which is separated and or decomposed. Number 4 is the refining of metals. This process is purifying impure metals is also called the refining of metals. In metallurgy, refining of metals in final process, electrolytic refining is the most widely used method of refining of impure metals obtained by the various reduction process. So that's all. Stay safe. God bless.